Again, it's Joey John Maguire. You might be able to hear absolutely full of man flu. And if you ladies out there are wondering what man flu is, I'm sure you know that it's the same as woman's cold, but at a much, much higher level. So possibly about to die. Anyway, I'm about to recite my latest poem. I'm in one of my favourite at the moment, Wetherspoons pubs. I'm in the what's it called? The Scouters Corner. That's in Wood Green. That's in North London, United Kingdom. Suffering for the cause. I've just written this poem actually in the pub. Only the second poem that I've ever written in a pub in my life. I normally never pick up my pen when I'm under the influence of anything. And as I don't take recreational drugs other than alcohol, it means I never pick up my pen when I'm under the influence of alcohol. But I read this poem today, full of flu. I suppose because I was so ill I couldn't get out of bed in the early hours of this morning. It was obviously on my mind. So here, suspense over A Broken Promise by Joey John Maguire. Making a promise, to some just part of second nature, requiring as much effort as breath itself, to them just a trivial gesture designed to reassure, and words cost nothing, or do they? Making a promise, it's the difference between saying I shall and I will, being at the very least impolite to say I shall, knowing full well there is an outside chance you may not. To the maker of a promise, the act of not fulfilling it may or may not bear much significance by way of hurt feelings, but for the poor recipient, the letdown of a broken promise may well carry issues of trust that, however trivial they are perceived to be, could well be devastating, or should I be bold enough to suggest, even life-threatening. With the best will in the world, we are all guilty of spurting out a promise to appease, knowing full well a promise can be broken at a later date. But surely, mindful compassion would advise us to consider the outcome before rushing into a contract that cannot be reversed. Sorry doesn't mend a broken spirit, nor the heart. Do you remember how it felt when last you were let down and all trust deserted? If the answer is yes, then why, oh why, inflict your fickle insincerity on the goodwill of unsuspecting others? They are not deserving of your disrespect. There is a moral lesson here, in that surely it's best to say I will, rather than a very dubious, well-meant I shall. A broken promise can rip a heart in two quicker than you can take breath, or say, never make a promise you cannot keep. And that's a promise. That pose, especially for a really nice man called Mr. Ed. Can't wait for him to read that, actually. Yeah. That's especially for Mr. Ed.